take all Sunday from Stillwater. A trip to the Women's College World Series on the line. Fans well aware what's at stake as they ready to get inside Cowgirls Stadium. Big 12 power clash. Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma State Cowgirls in the rubber match of our super regional. Longhorns playing to keep their season alive yesterday. Their backs woke up at the right time. Freshman Jordan Whitaker smacked a solo bomb, led to a 3-run 6th inning. Then Shea O'Leary had enough to complete the game. A 4-2 decision to close out the Cowgirls. 7 tickets already punched. 1 more to go, ladies and gentlemen. With the 2-time national champion Aaron Miller, I'm Tiffany Green. You've played in this position before. Win or go home. What does it take?
It is about intestinal fortitude. It's a gut check. Who can put it all on the line, back against the wall? Must-win situation. Showdown going down here. Big 12 will come out of Stillwater. We can guarantee it.
In the circle, Carrie Eberly. We saw her in game 1 and a repeat here in game 3.
So good in the circle. No-brainer to have her grab the ball here to start in a game 3 scenario. A senior, a lot of reps in the circle, a transfer from Virginia Tech coming in here, making a huge impact for OSU. She'll stay low in the zone. She's got that hard drop ball that falls off the table, late break.
2-time Conference Pitcher of the Year, unanimous selection in the Big 12 this season. Mike White, very familiar with Eberly in the circle. His team has faced off against Oklahoma State 6 times now this season, able to notch their first win against the Cowgirls this season. As we take a look at the Texas starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One, the table sitter, and Miss Automatica, as I like to say, Janae Jefferson, the All-American second baseman, 11 for 19 during this NCAA tournament. She has been stellar.
One of the best to do it in that leadoff spot. Triple threat, speed, power. Kind of broke through in the home run scene, has 5 homers this year. Sneaky Pop, the junior. Man, it seems like she's been here forever.
Yeah.
Texas savoring each season with Janae at the top of this order.
4 for 6 during supers, had a couple of singles yesterday, fouls that one back for 1-1. And coming into this weekend, Texas, one of the best offensive teams in the country, hitting an average of .348, which was 3rd best in the nation. Again, coming into Friday, average just about 7 runs a game, just below that, top 10 in the nation as well. But it was Eberly who, outside of Jefferson, held the bats at bay for Texas.
Yeah, looking back at game 1, Eberly getting that start. Similar situation here of trying to figure out what she can get away with in that strike zone.
The 2-1 to Jefferson.
But after the first inning in game 1, Tiffany, she cruised. Yeah. She found that flow, she found the groove. And she wasn't scared to continue to chip away at that same pitch until she found what works.
Only allowed 1 earned run in that 6-1 victory for Oklahoma State. Jefferson sends it into left field and out number 1. We'll introduce you to the Cowgirls defense in the outfield. Cheyenne Factor in center field, along with Alexander, who just made the catch, and Haley Busby over at third. One of the anchors for this team, Sydney Pennington, along with Naomi Petty and Febri. Behind the dish is Reagan Wright, the transfer out of UT Arlington, a super senior for this team. And Carrie Eberly, the master in the circle this year for OK State.
171 innings thrown for Carrie Eberly. And out of those 171 innings, 150 strikeouts. So very efficient through the strike zone, not afraid to attack hitters, go right at them.
Here facing Lauren Burke. Burke still searching for her first hit in this super regional round.
Another mark of that efficiency, which is a stat, Tiffany, that I always keep an eye on, is the strikeout to free base ratio. 150 strikeouts for Eberle, only 69 walks on the year.
In the month of May for Eberle, the numbers jumped up considerably after starting so strong in the season. You see, under 1 in ERA, but then May just maybe ran into some bumps along the way, but she's finding the form that she needs again at the right time, and she's hoping to deliver what she did in Game 1 Friday. She was getting more loose. That drop ball was working for her after she settled in the first inning.
Well, and it's worth noting what May means. May is mayhem, tougher competition, championship play. Towards the end of May, you've got postseason unfolding, so much tougher offense and hitters that Eberle faced throughout that month of May.
Striking out and fanning Burke.
Perfectly placed, again, chipping away at that strike zone. Climbing the ladder so well. She did this in perfect execution in Game 1. She just chips an inch by inch further away, especially to those left-handed hitters.
The righty, Jordan Whitaker, who's making her 26th start of the season, and we talked with Mike White about making the change to put Whitaker in the lineup. She had been hot during the postseason, felt like they needed to do something different, and she provided that spark plug.
Man, was he a genius or what? Her first start yesterday in the 3-hole in the 6th inning, which is when they needed it the most, she goes yard. And that was only her 25th start of the year yesterday in Game 2. What a huge moment for the freshman. 4 home runs on the year, one of those coming yesterday.
All Big 12 freshman team for Whitaker, but swinging through that one. A freshman out of Jacksonville, Texas. Knows how to power a big wheel thanks to her father, who taught her how to drive one. We saw her send a long shot out of the park today, but now down the count 1-2. How's she deal? Eberle delivers ball 2.
Well, let's see where this missed. Again, just part of exploring that strike zone. That's a curveball on the outer half of the plate, and I got to tell you, I think that clipped at least part of the white of that strike zone.
Well, this is a good opportunity, again, to just kind of gauge where that strike zone is, to see how much you can get. And Whitaker swinging and missing. Eberle finishing off the inning with 2 strikeouts, already out to a strong start. In Stillwater, Oklahoma, as we look back to yesterday's Capital One rewarding performance, it was Shea O'Leary going the distance, just needed 89 pitches to get the victory.
The late life on her ball is so impressive. Sharp, efficient. She was in complete control stepping into the circle yesterday.
Found a way to keep the batters just off balance, Aaron.
Yeah, with 155 innings and 2/3 on this year, it's the confidence, it's the repetitions. I love to see how her career has unfolded every year, season after season. She makes those adjustments, so crucial to her development, the circle.
Crucial time of year. Kenny Gajewski absolutely knows it, the head coach for Oklahoma State, saying, look, this is what elite softball is about. If I told you, team, and I'm going to paraphrase here, that we would be where we are, just 1 game away from OKC, would you take it? He said, yeah, absolutely. And that's being kind. As we take a look at the Oklahoma State lineup, brought to you by Capital One. Kylie Naomi has sent one out the park. Febrey, Busby as well, along with Sydney Pennington, the all-time home run leader for the Cowgirls. O'Leary held this unit to just 3 hits yesterday, and we have seen them blast them out the park. One of the tops in the country with the long ball. Kylie Naomi looking to start it off. The junior fouls it back.
5 different Cowgirls going out of the yard this weekend. One of those here in the leadoff position, Kylie Naomi, 14 homers on the year. And this has been a strategy that we've seen across the nation, where you've got some of your big bashers at the top of the order, hard to face right out of the gate. And just looking at the order, OSU has 4 in the lineup, 1 through 9, that have double-digit home runs. So a lot of pop.
They've hit the most home runs in this super regional. The question is, though, will we see variety from them in terms of their offensive production? Will they just rely on the long ball, or will they do a little bit more if necessary?
That's the question, Tiffany. Is yesterday, 1 run on the board, and that was off the bat of Kylie Naomi, a homer early in the game.
And O'Leary striking out Naomi for the first out of the inning. Shannon Rhodes, a very good center fielder for the Longhorns, flanked by Burke and Whitaker. Corona, the 4th third baseman to start over on the hot corner for the Longhorns. And Mary Iacopo, the steady arm behind the plate. And this one, first pitch swinging, Cheyenne Factor lines out to Corona, 2 away.
O'Leary taking care of business. Not fearful of that strike zone in the least, going right at OSU.
And the lefty, Allison Febrey, standing in now, had a couple of home runs in game 1, smacks that one foul.
So to finish your point, Tiff, of variety, 1 home run off the bat of Naomi. Pennington going yard late in that game. Every run OSU has scored has been the long ball. Can we see variety? Can they score in other ways? And don't get me wrong, we love to see that long ball, right? But you're not always going to have to wait on that long ball to win games. You've got to have the ability to score in other ways, especially as you get deeper into this postseason journey. The pitching gets tougher, situations get tougher, the pressure starts to rise.
Well, this is a group where Kenny Gajewski saw his team really kind of turn it on when conference play started. He said, we were just being average, and we want to move into quality at-bats. I know that we can do it. He pushed them, and it's paid off. And a player who really absorbed that quickly and took it personally was Allison Febrey.
Locked in. The eyes, the look, everything at the plate is just so in the moment.
Febrey sends this one to left field. Is it in play? It's a foul ball. But I'll tell you, you just hold your breath when you hear the crack of the bat from Febrey.
Well, this is not an athlete that you want to give another life to. This ball should have been caught right off the top of the fence. Lauren Burke in left field. If she can find that wall a little bit earlier, she gets one of the toughest hitters out of this order.
Febrey looking on. O'Leary with a pitch.
We got a chance to talk to Allison Febrey after game 1, Tiffany, and we asked her, what are you thinking about in the box? She said, I'm locked in. I am locked in, a little tweak here and there, but other than that, it's see ball, hit ball.
And those eyes say it all. Caught her looking. Shea O'Leary, she's excited, pumped up as well. That ends the inning. We move to the second.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Best place to be, and the fans for Oklahoma State loving some postseason softball. A trip to the Women's College World Series on the line, and we are delighted to be here with you at Cowgirls Stadium. We're excited to be on site as well. Aaron Miller, Tiffany Green here with you, breaking down the keys to the game for each team. What do they have to do?
You know, I think for OSU, it is that variety of scoring in other ways instead of just waiting on that long ball, which they've done pretty well all season. And for Texas, it's earlier adjustments. You saw a late answer to get that win yesterday, but can they make those adjustments sooner? That's going to be the key.
Well, we've seen already both pitchers do exactly what we expected them to do in the circle. Carrie Eberly, along with Shea O'Leary, recording a couple of strikeouts in their opening inning, and Mike White saw his bats start to come alive late. He said, let's keep that momentum going that we saw late into today's game and all the way to Oklahoma City if we can help it. 4, 5, and 6 due up here. Taylor Ellsworth leading it off for Texas.
Well, when you look at Texas's offense, what they've done from game 1, game 2, we saw a squeeze bunt in the first inning of game 1. Yeah. They struck first against the Cowgirls. And then pretty silent offensively until late yesterday. That 6th inning, things started to really heat up for Texas. So can they carry that spark? Can they carry that momentum here early in the winner take all? That's the question. Momentum so big for our sport.
Ellsworth on the ground. Naomi is there and out, number 1. Well, the top 10 offensive numbers you see in the ranks for Texas, this is a team that has just produced all season long. And Mike White was like, okay, our bats are waking up. We're getting solid pitching performances in the circle as well. We've got to lean now on what's helped us get here this year, and it's offense. The grounder over to second base, and Petty finds Febri, who scoops it out and retires Rhodes. 2 away.
Absolutely have to give credit where it's due. I think Coach White has just done a tremendous job. The growth of Texas offensive numbers have been off the chart this year. A record year offensively for UT. You got to give props also to Coach Singleton. The hitting coach has been so imperative for the development of each one of these hitters. Such a science mindset of breaking down the swing, the science of the swing, the numbers, the video, the game plan. And, you know, Tiffany, you and I have talked about it, and I think for those of you viewing at home, you have seen the almost video game-like numbers across the scene of softball. And to me, we're entering this era of the hitters, the offensive numbers, the production at the plate. I think of the technology that's been introduced to the sport, video, the stats, the analytics, everything has just taken huge leaps within softball. The shift of strategy, we're seeing more staff efforts where I would think back just a handful of years ago when I was playing, that wasn't necessarily the case. Most programs would have that one dominant arm. But man, our sport has just developed and grown and evolved season to season.
And even with the shift in arms, we're still going to the ace in the circle when it matters most. I mean, second time we're seeing Carrie Eberly, the same for Shea O'Leary. So still those arms that got you here, most important to try to carry you onto the Women's College World Series. Mary Iacopo hits it over to Pennington, who drops it out of her glove. Not able to get Iacopo in time. And the catcher sprinting down the first base line.
Well, Pennington, who has been so studly at third base all weekend long, isn't able to secure that hot shot off the bat of Iacopa, one of the strongest hitters for Texas.
And so that allows Iacopa to be at first base with 2 outs, and Mackenzie Parker standing in, first pitch swinging just past Pennington. So back-to-back base runners for Texas.
Well, there is that momentum. This was some of that late life that we saw out of Texas's offense yesterday to take the win, pushing into game 3, and here pressing with 2 outs against Eberly in the circle.
We full well know that these players know exactly what's on the line. It's win or go home. Oklahoma City just about an hour away from here. One of these teams will land as the 8th and final team for the field to be set. As it all gets underway next Thursday, June 3rd, you can catch every game, every pitch on our ESPN networks.
And I'm going to take your point even further. It's not just win or go home. It's win or hang it up for the year. That is where we are at, ladies and gentlemen. It is a must-win situation, and it all comes down to this game. These teams have faced each other now 6 times this year. They know each other. They know the punches that are going to be thrown.
Sullivan over to Pennington. She casually tags third base. 2 runners left aboard, nothing pushed across. We move to the bottom of the second. The fun, the emotion, excitement, enthusiasm that we have felt being on site here in Stillwater. The players, the fans, the viewers, we know you all feel it. E-Millie, I can say it a million times. Nothing like postseason softball. And since 2005, when this regional, super regional format was established, teams hosting are 31-18 in game 3 of Supers. So that means that it was in favor of the home team here, Oklahoma State, if you're looking at history.
Hey, if we're talking about 2005, that's the last time 2 Big 12 teams have gone head-to-head in Super Regionals. This is an epic matchup. We keep talking about the growth of softball. To see how the landscape has shaken out throughout the week. How about JMU today? Woo! Odyssey Alexander.
Major props to the Dukes as Haley Busby sends that one into right field. The first hit off of Shea O'Leary.
All right, so the freshman Whitaker in right field. Not a lot of action in the outfield, and if you can see here, a late jump on this ball. She holds up to let it bounce in front. Definitely should have been a play made there, a catch easily secured, but just not able to leg it out.
We talked about the rotating positions within the defense. That's been a revolving door in right field.
Yep.
9 different players have suited up in right field. Meanwhile, an outstanding double play from the defense for the Longhorns. Shea O'Leary is feeling all of it right now. 6-4-3.
Whitaker's like, hey, y'all can tell me to catch that all day, but my defense has my back. Innies, roll it up. Jefferson with the clean transfer to snag that double play at first. Hey, here's the defense that Texas has been needing all year long to be clean, polished, and already a double play rolled through 2 innings. That was the key. That was the key per Coach White. We need tougher defense.
They committed the most errors in the Big 12, but since then here in the NCAA tournament, they put all of that behind them in the rear view mirror. Just 2 errors in their last 6 games.
I think that paints the picture, right? If the shoe fits. All right, if we're cleaner on D, we're going to win big games. And they did just that against Oregon to find their way here in Stillwater.
3-0 count now to the second baseman, Carly Petty. First of the game for O'Leary, who has been working efficiently early on, and that's straight down the pipe for a strike.
Well, Carly Petty at the plate now for OSU, one of the toughest players I know. In the Big 12 championship, took a 1-hop off the eyebrow, 10 stitches she had to get.
Ouch. Sullivan racing back to first base in time. Big double play, and Shea O'Leary gets out of the inning, only giving up a hit. Back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. 7 tickets already punch high above T-Boone Pickens Stadium here in Stillwater. You see Florida State, the 2018 champions. They're going back to Hall of Fame Stadium, JMU. We mentioned the Dukes, their first ever appearance. They will go up against the defending champion UCLA Bruins. They've been there more times than any other program. Alabama, Oklahoma, Arizona, Georgia as well. And one of these 2 teams will be on the list. Who will it be? Texas or Oklahoma State? Everything's on the line here today. The 9-hole hitter, Camille Corona, leading things off, tries to lay down the bunt in fair territory, and Reagan Wright zips it down over to Petty, 1 down.
Well, that bunt almost too good, right in front of Wright. Behind the plate, just dives right off the barrel.
Back to the top of the order. This Texas program making their 6th super regional appearance. You mentioned they had to get past Oregon in that game 7 after beating St. Francis and Texas State. 2 games last Sunday. Texas coming out on top. Second time in school history they've been on the road in supers, the last coming in 2019 when they were in Tuscaloosa facing the Crimson Tide. Janae Jefferson has been one of the hardest outs this weekend, this postseason. So after falling behind in the count, it evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled away. Well, we saw the 6 shutout innings from Carrie Eberly in game 1. Kenny Gajewski knows that she likes the ball in her hands. She likes the pressure. She wants to be in control. She's been tough when she's been on. "24 games in the win column for Eberly.
Eberly is definitely one of those arms that wants the big moment. You want a player like that wants the ball in the pressure-filled moments, the moments that matter most.
And that one bounces off, gets away, and Janae Jefferson is aboard with the walk. Well, these two teams so familiar with one another. Aaron, you already mentioned you had a chance to see both of these teams during the regular season. You called the Big 12 tournament as well. It was Texas who was voted second in the preseason. Right behind them, Oklahoma State. Those two flip-flop at the end of the season as the Cowgirls finishing with their best Big 12 record in school history at 15-3.
Wright gonna come out and have a word with Eberle. A tough at bat against Jefferson. She gets ahead 0-2, and I loved that sequence. She went inside with a curveball, and then she worked away to get 0-2 against Jefferson, but was not able to make competitive pitchers' pitches. That's the difference. When you get ahead, to be able to bite on that strike zone just far enough for the chase. And those pitchers' pitches just were not competitive enough.
After the break, Eberle fouled away by Burke. Burke, one of the players moving over from the Pac-12 to the Big 12. She's found her way up and down the lineup, settled in at the 2-hole. This one on the ground. Petty flips it over to second base just in time, and they get the lead runner Jefferson out at second.
This is heads-up defense right here. Petty charging this ball and backhand throws to Naomi at second base. And that comes down to the fundamentals of knowing what you're going to do with the ball if it comes your way. Not being shocked once it gets to you and scrambling to get that lead runner.
Whitaker making her second start of the weekend. Had that home run yesterday. To give them the advantage, she's hoping she can do so again here, but she's trailing 0-2, runner at first base. So close, that call not given in favor of Eberle. Let's take another look at that.
She has been living on this curveball, and I'm going to tell you, if I am Whitaker at the plate, I am not leaving that call in the hands of an umpire. I'm at least going to foul that thing off and get myself another pitch, but she still has life.
We send you back to yesterday, and the last time she was up to bat in that 6th inning, that was the go-ahead home run, a solo shot. They scored 3 runs in that 6th inning to give them a 4-2 decision to push this decisive Game 3. Something about the flair for the dramatic for the Longhorns. They like being in this position. Their backs against the wall. Although Mike White said I was, a little numb. After that Game 7 ended at 1:30 in the morning on Monday. Happy, though, to have taken the victory.
Props to our team, Amanda Scarborough and Kevin Brown, for the wee hours of the night.
After a 5-hour weather delay. Whitaker puts the bat to the ball, sends it into left field, bounces off the wall, And now runners at the corners with 2 outs. Jordan Whitaker continuing her great hitting here in the tournament.
Check where this ball is thrown. This is still a very good pitch out of the hand of Eberle. Nicely located, a drop ball below the knees. But the attack of the barrel, the quick hands, this is something that Coach White talked about. He said, Jordan Whitaker, she might be a freshman, but she's the strongest hitter on our roster. And that's why. To hit bad pitches well. That's what makes you elite at the plate.
MK Tedder in at first base for Whitaker, and that's why Texas has just been one of the best hitting teams all season long throughout the country. So the first run of the ball game, just 60 feet away for the Longhorns. And Kenny Gajewski coming out of the dugout to have a conversation with his team. I'll tell you this, Aaron Miller, we've talked about what postseason softball means. You have been in this scenario and situation before, but 100% capacity here in Stillwater and in any state that allows you to have 100% capacity thanks to the NCAA Hall of Fame Stadium. Will allow 100% fans and just being able to enjoy a ball game as a player. What was it like to have those fans in the stands? What did it mean?
It's an extra electricity, and you know the irony of it, Tiffany. I think of the Women's College World Series when there are 10 to 12,000 people in that stadium at one time, and you feel the electricity, you feel that energy, but you know at times you don't even sense it at all. It is just the hum of then the buzz around you that makes everything a little more exciting, but it almost gets you a little more locked in. If you're truly bought into the moment, the noise is not distracting, it fuels the fire.
It's a sound and a vibration that we have missed as the 2020 season was canceled due to COVID-19, but now it's back more than 700 days since a pitch was thrown in postseason, and we are less than a week away from the start of the Women's College World Series.
So hard to believe, over 730 days since you've been able to say those words. The Women's College World Series is back, baby. Let's go.
And Texas trying to get back there for the first time since 2013, making Eberle work in this inning. That one on the outside part of the plate. 22 pitches now for Eberle thrown in this inning alone.
Everything away, just really working that curve and drop on the outside part of the plate. Last time we saw her go on the inner corner was against Janae Jefferson. She got ahead 0-2 and then quickly lost it to a walk. Since then, it's been everything on the outer part of the strike zone.
Where does she go here? Still staying on the outside part of the plate, but this one called for a strike. Full count now.
If I'm Texas, I'm noting where these pitches are located. I'm relaying this info to my dugout. Hey, look away. Sit deep. Let that thing travel. Go opposite field.
Ellsworth, the grounder to third and out of the inning. Second inning in a row. A couple of runners left on base. Still goose eggs on the scoreboard.
Is the party that every player wants to be at.
It's going to be passionate softball for sure.
Back to crown a national champion for the first time since 2019.
They get to chase history here.
The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday, June 3rd at noon Eastern, live on ESPN. The World Series now at 100% capacity. And now's your chance to catch all the action live and in person. Let's take a look at some of these matchups that we have. Yeah, we mentioned the Dukes' first ever appearance in the Women's College World Series. They will match up against the #1 overall seed, Oklahoma. How about another unseeded team with Georgia? They await the winner of this one, Arizona and Alabama, and of course Florida State and UCLA. Which matchup intrigued you the most, Aaron?
I mean, I'm eager to see Odyssey Alexander facing the Sooners.
Nice throw right there as out #1, but let's go back. Okay, Odyssey Alexander, we saw her last weekend in Tennessee in that Knoxville Regional. She was spectacular, and she did it again in Como.
Yeah, one of just, I think, a pleasant surprise within the postseason landscape. Twitter has caught fire with JMU and Odyssey Alexander's performance through regionals and super regionals. Another dual athlete, so gets it done in the circle, but also can get it done at the plate. We have seen some incredible, is it pitchers that hit or hitters that pitch? I could argue it both ways, but we have seen some amazing dual athletes across the scene.
Duke seeking to be the first team to potentially win a Women's College World Series, a national championship in their first trip to the Women's College World Series since Oklahoma did it back in 2000. 5 straight Women's College World Series appearances for the Sooners. 143 home runs and counting for one of the most electric offenses that we've seen, that I've seen since maybe I've been watching softball. Okay, you've been playing it around the sport longer, so I yield to you.
I'm gonna reflect the same sentiment. I have watched and been a part of a lot of softball, and we are witnessing history. There's an old teammate and my sister right there on the left.
Shout out to Drake.
Destiny Martinez. We got to play together at OU.
2 away is Parker again busy from her shortstop position. Again, an opportunity to move on to Oklahoma City for one of these teams. Oklahoma State made it there in 2019. It was an awesome year for the Cowgirls. They did their thing, laying it down and not able to beat out the bunt in time. Chelsea Alexander can't believe it, but great defense once more from Texas. We'll talk to Kenny Gajewski and get his thoughts on the game so far when we come back. Just a hair to end that 3rd inning. We're joined now by the Oklahoma State head coach Kenny Gajewski back here at Cowgirls Stadium. And coach, you wanted to see your team play with a sense of urgency, obviously with everything on the line. Are they living up to that?
I think so. I mean, I feel like we're locked in. These 2 kids are throwing their tails off, and these hitters are battling, and tough play there. But with Chelsea's getting bunts down, we're going to be in a good spot. So I like where this team's at.
Coach, I loved your quote. We got to talk about it earlier in this broadcast about if it all came down to this moment, one game, would you want it? Absolutely. Talk about that conversation you've had with your squad about this game.
Well, I don't know a team in the country that wouldn't want to be in this spot. It's one game. I mean, it's what you work for. It's what you come to these schools for. And if I told you at the beginning of this year, if you could have one chance to go to OKC and then go on there, would you want it? And you'd say, yeah, of course. And if you don't, then I don't want you here.
Yep. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Such good comments. I mean, really puts it in perspective of this stage. Coming down to one game to continue your season, to fight for a national championship. And when you look at the career of Oklahoma State, now 6 seasons for Kenny Gajewski in Stillwater, and the growth season after season, I mean, just a massive impact on this program.
And he talked about just how Texas is standing in the way of something we want. He feels really confident about this team, and they're not worried about the opponent on the other side. They're worried about playing to be the best version of themselves. They're playing to this standard to be great. He saw what it took to get to Oklahoma City. Several of these players on this team were a part of that magical 2019 run. And they've been around the diamond a long time. Mike White playing with the U.S. national team as a pitcher. Kenny Gajewski winning a national championship at the rival school, Oklahoma, back in 1994.
With Tim Walton.
That's right.
I'm sure you guys know Tim Walton. They were buddies, best friends.
Florida head coach who saw Gajewski serve as an assistant under him. He won 2 national championships.
Hello, Naomi. Look at this backhand. She goes up the 5-6 hole off the back foot, deep in the field to make that throw across the diamond. We have seen her cover some serious ground at shortstop.
Outstanding athlete, cannon for an arm. You saw the strength right there on the play.
What I thought was a backhand ended up being right within her range, because that is just how athletic she is at shortstop.
Iacopo reached on an error her last time up. Over to Naomi again, and this time, same result. You see that, ladies?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Kylie Naomi, virtually the exact same play. And let's put it in perspective. Her momentum. She's running away from first base. Keep that in mind. The momentum going away from where she's wanting to throw the ball, that takes a lot of arm strength to get it across the field.
First team all Big 12 selection out of Louisiana, and the smile after it. She's just enjoying this game. She's like, yeah, good job. Okay, pat myself on the back
Been
too.
there, done that. Can of corn.
Two outs. Mackenzie Parker singled her first time up. The only hit given up by Eberly. One of 2, excuse me, given up by Eberly.
There's the inner corner. Eberly biting close now on the inside part of the plate. Back in the third, was living on that outside corner, working away from hitters. Love the change of game plan, keeping it fresh. I think it's worth mentioning Coach Bargfeld for OSU, the pitching coach here for the Cowgirls. A heck of a coach, one of the best in the nation, coming over from the University of Tulsa.
Caught Parker looking. Eberly. 1, 2, 3 ends the inning. We'll talk to Mike White, Texas head coach, on the other side. Of Oklahoma State, a chance to go to the Women's College World Series. Texas and Cowgirls knotted at 0 as we welcome in Mike White, the Texas head coach. And Coach, you talked about the fight that your team has had. Can you show me or explain to me the type of Texas fight that they have displayed from yesterday until today?
Well, we've kind of had our backs to the wall a couple of games, and we've fought out. But today, you know, we're playing great defense, and they're gutting it up. And we've had some runners on base. We just haven't quite got it done. So we've got to hope that O'Leary does a great job here, being efficient and staying ahead of the hitters.
Coach, I've gotten to see O'Leary's career and her development in the circle, a battle of adversity through injury at time. Can you explain her journey to this moment, this game, what it means?
Well, do we have enough time? No. But, certainly, when she came in, she was barely breaking 60, and she was struggling with her health and couldn't pitch more than 5 minutes at a time. So that's the start of it. And from there, it just continued to get stronger and stronger as she went along. So she's a fighter, and that's the person we need out there right now.
All right, thanks, Coach. We appreciate it, and good luck.
Thanks. Welcome.
Well, O'Leary and the health challenges that he mentioned, battling Graves' disease, and that lack of energy, that fatigue and rapid heart rate is caused by an overactive thyroid, and so she didn't discover it until she got on campus, and working with the trainers and the doctors helped to get it under control. And we've seen her go the distance yesterday throughout the season, and the efficiency he mentioned, 2 of the 3 innings so far has been under 10 pitches.
13 pitches in the first and less than 10 in the last 2 innings. Has been cruising.
We saw her throw just 89 pitches yesterday in that 3-hit complete game for the win to push to a game 3. Trying to lay down the bunt, not able to do so is Naomi, but you go back to, O'Leary and just some of the injuries that she had to battle through. That ankle injury, she was looking sharp in her freshman year. That kind of threw her off. At one point, she had won 11 straight. She just had a tremendous start to her career, but the bounce back, you love to see the fight in these type of athletes at an elite level.
Well, and it's more than just that. It's season after season, and this is something all pitchers have to work through, is finding a way to have a new look or be a little bit sharper at your good stuff that next season. Because in a situation like this, 2 teams that have seen each other 6 times, what can I bring that's different?
Calling off Jefferson is Colleen Sullivan to collect out number 1.
Specifically this offseason, O'Leary working on that grip, shortening a more efficient windup. She's hiding the grip within the web of her glove a little bit better. These are just the little details. As you watch from home, even for us up here in the booth, so many things, games within the game, right? Things that we don't really see from the outside looking in.
But I like the adjustments that Texas has made in the batter's box, on defense. And this one popped up. Corona is there near the Cowgirl dugout for out number 2. We'll remind you of what Allison Febri did back in game 1 Friday. She cranked it to the deepest part of the park, and then she said, well, let me just do it again. I was having so much fun.
Way gone. So much power. I love the way that Coach Gajewski describes her approach. She said she's just got an old school vibe. She plays the game hard. She's gritty. She doesn't get caught up in the emotion. She plays with passion. She is so locked in, and we've talked about that game face at the plate.
Bringing that Cowgirl grit to the plate. Super senior, began her career at the University of Georgia. Out of Peachtree City, and looking at the numbers for Febri, a couple of players who have made an impact, transferred into this program, 18 and 19 between Febri and Busby respectively. With the home run ball, Maddie Sue Montgomery, who was on that list as well, one of the Cowgirl greats sitting in the dugout with Kenny Gajewski, Busby on deck. And the walk to Febri with 2 outs. And the team's home run leader, Haley Busby, coming to the plate.
19 home runs from this young lady right here. How about the NCAA tournament numbers? Heck of an outing, 9 for 17.
And Mike White having a conversation with his battery, well aware of what Haley Busby did that Friday.
This was game 1, the bat flip and all, because it hit the street, Tiffany Green. It was that big. Might as well have been the moon. That ball got out in a hurry.
She can crush it. We saw that already. And again, another player who moved into this program and has already made such an impact and a difference in the lineup for Kenny Gajewski. Meanwhile, for Shea O'Leary, she's just looking to get out of the inning unscathed if possible. Just the second base runner that she's allowed.
Well, this is the first time that Shea O'Leary has not had a 1-2-3 inning. First time she has faced 4 batters.
Pulled that one foul. This is the game within the game, the challenge between Busby and O'Leary, understanding that this is a crucial moment. One of the first that we felt in this game so far. Both teams trying to punch their ticket. Only one can go to Oklahoma City. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Busby.
Well, when you think of a must-win situation like this, 2 outs, runner on. Doesn't matter. Can we produce with 2 outs on the board? We have to.
Busby sends this one deep, but foul.
And almost hits a car. If it didn't. That red one was mighty close right there. Red Jeep, you might want to move.
Cars, beware. And you can just feel it for Busby. You saw the shot of her eyes. She wants it.
Will not be denied. Does O'Leary have other plans, though? That's the question.
O'Leary wanted it badly. Iacopo did too. It was close, Aaron.
The entire stadium erupting. You saw the celebration at the end. She wanted that call, and I'm gonna tell you, I thought she deserved it. That was a beautiful off-speed pitch on the outer half of that plate. Heck of a pitch.
Yeah. Busby swings the bat at it. Runner left on base. O'Leary able to move on to the 5th. Still tied at 0. Company witnessing a shutout here in Stillwater. Just 3 hits combined, giving up a pitcher's duel between Eberly and O'Leary. Look at these numbers side by side, Aaron. Impressive.
You know, we have seen a heck of a lot of gutsy pitching performances. Rachel Garcia pitching with her back against the wall. Ferramo pitching with her back against the wall. Odyssey Alexander. How about Keely Richard for Virginia Tech? A heck of a super regional performance. Nicole May getting the start for Oklahoma.
Mary Wilson Avant shutting out the
Yes.
Gators in Gainesville for the Georgia Bulldogs. Catherine Sandercott helping FSU to handle some business down in Baton Rouge. I mean, this is a time of year, if you're a softball fan, you absolutely love, and if you're a casual fan, you just get glued to the TV because you lock in on these stars, these elite level athletes performing, giving 100%, pouring their heart and soul into it. You know what goes into it, and to see the final product that we get to show each game, you have to have a great appreciation for what goes down on the diamond.
Well, I have gotten some amazing feedback and insight from those casual fans of maybe people that have just started to really tune into softball, and it is, as you said, addicting. You're glued to the TV, you get sucked in, you gotta watch it till the very last pitch. And if you don't know, now you know.
And we are the very last site to send a team to the Women's College World Series. 7 tickets have already been punched. Oklahoma State trying to make their 9th appearance as a program. Texas seeking their 6th Women's College World Series berth. The 2-2 to Sullivan. Colleen Sullivan draws the count full. She's been to Oklahoma City, won a national championship with UCLA back in 2019, the defending champs. Seventh pitch on the way. This is stuff you can't make up. Maybe you do it at home or something like that, but perhaps the dugout celebrations, the rallies, the cheers, the chants, among one of my favorite parts. Sullivan cracks this one into center field, and Cheyenne Factor is there for the first out. Well, the champion since 2012, Alabama won their first. The Crimson Tide are trying to catch up to Oklahoma, who's done it a number of times. You were part of the 2013 and 16 teams. Florida State bringing in their first in 2018. Florida as well. Yeah, they're holding the can of corn because catching it like a can of corn. You referenced it earlier, and I tell you, the party in the outfield is where you want to sit if you come to Cowgirl Stadium.
It's major. The squirt guns. They got a warning yesterday. One of the
Yeah, they
squirt
did.
guns falling onto the field. They get rowdy out there. We talked about these OSU fans. It's all in good fun, but I can remember in my days playing out here in Stillwater, a couple of Facebook profiles being printed off, reading off grandma's names and statuses. They know how to work it.
It was cool because Vanessa Shippey, one of the All-Americans that used to play for Oklahoma State, her husband helped to create a group out in the outfield, and this section called the Social. So, you know, turned it into a deck, and it's a whole experience when you go out there. But right now, a pitcher's duel here has everyone locked in at Cowgirl Stadium.
A lot of Texas fans making this trip as well. There's Vanessa Shippey. You know, her and I share Big 12 Player of the Year
that's
honors
right.
from 2016. I gotta tell you, Vanessa Shippey was a heck of an athlete. If there was anyone I'm gonna share it with, I'd want it to be her. She was so passionate on the field, and I have heard nothing but incredible incredible things about her in a coaching role. Very impactful coach, relates so well to the players, able to really get on their level, simplify the game. I see a very amazing career ahead of her in the coaching world.
Corona and stopped by Petty, but Corona is able to leg out the base hit.
Perfectly placed up the middle of the field, just past Eberle. Requires that diving effort from Petty, but the speed at the bottom of this order has proven to be fruitful for Texas. A good shot here for the Longhorns as this lineup turns over to one of the best to ever do it, Janae Jefferson. Got a chance to talk to her this week, and she really put in perspective the fight. It ain't over till it's over. She assured me, I'm telling you, there's a lot of fight left in this tank, and we saw it yesterday. She had the clutch hit in game 2 to get the game-tying run across the board. Nobody knows how to do it better than this athlete right here.
13-game hitting streak for Jefferson. Smacks it over to Naomi. She decides to turn the double play.
Flash the lever. Middle infield, roll it up. This is the second double play of the game. Will OSU flash the bats next? Let's see.
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. It's a friendly day to sway back and forth with your friends, your songs blasting over the speakers, nothing but to do. Sing along, folks. Okay, so let's go back to Shea O'Leary with that wave. Bye-bye, girl. I don't know. I'm just putting words in the mouth.
We have seen the wave from catcher Iacopo waving goodbye when she throws somebody out at second base. And now Shea O'Leary catching on to the wave bye-bye. A little confidence never hurts nobody.
Picking up that Beyonce swag, boy. It could be boy bye, you know?
Exactly.
You know, so.
You get it, Tiff. You get it.
Right now, Shea O'Leary doing an outstanding job holding Oklahoma State's bats, keeping them nearly silent. Just gave up a hit to Busby back in the second. A single and that's it. Well, that hits Sydney Pennington, so she trots to first base. Just the third base runner allowed today.
A one hop that hits Pennington off that back knee. You don't see that often.
While O'Leary has seen 3 base runners on for the Cowgirls, none have made it past first base.
Petty, one of the 5 hitters within this OSU lineup that have gone yard, went out of the park in the 6th inning of game 1. The distribution of power, so important for this lineup. But as we mentioned, living and dying on that long ball. Can they score in other ways? We haven't seen it yet. Every run scored. Did I take the words out of your mouth?
You just picked it up right out of my mouth. You in my head.
Are we best friends? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Oh, that one goes off the head of Petty. And ouch, as she tries to just gather herself. Thank goodness for the helmet, but wow.
Not that there is a good place to get hit on the head, but that looks to be right on the temple. You can see she immediately takes off that helmet, needing to relieve some pressure. At least we've got some laughs over there on first base. Hey, I mentioned the tough cookie of
Yes.
Carly Petty.
Yes.
She took one off of the eyebrow, a one hop at second base. Had to get 10 stitches. We'll see it one more time. Oh, you get a sense of the sound there of just how hard that hit the helmet. Hey, 2 thumbs up. We're good to go.
And 2 consecutive hit by pitches. And now OSU has their first runner in scoring position. Reagan Wright. Wright 0 for 1, grounded out to short her first time up.
That might have been the pitch.
Yeah.
That might have been the pitch right there that Wright should have got on. 2 on, no out, and she sees the first strike go by.
Lays down the sacrifice, but moves the runners over to second and third, and Wright does her job.
The little things, the fundamental parts of our game, so crucial at this point in the season to lay that bunt down, moving those runners 60 feet closer.
Aaron, we've seen momentum shift throughout the weekend. It's so important for one of these teams to grab it and go with it with their season on the line. Shea O'Leary, who has really pitched once again, another excellent ball game to this point, minus the couple of hit batters and that single. She's been solid. She's kept them off balance like she did yesterday. But here, a pivotal moment in this game.
Well, not to mention the defense has been solid behind her. It just comes down to those 2 hit by pitches to lead off this inning. And they weren't small misses. They were big misses. 1 hop to the plate to hit Pennington, a ball off of the helmet of Carly Petty. And now, you know, putting the pressure on Iakopo behind the plate. If anything is wild again, she has to keep the ball in front of her.
Two teams very familiar with one another. No secrets between them. Remember, it was the Big 12 tournament. A strikeout situation. Iakopo threw it down to first. Petty was able to run all the way around for a 3-2 decision. Pinch runner on third base, 60 feet closer with Avery Hobson standing at the plate. And Macy Connon. That pinch runner. The 0-1 to Hobson. The chopper gets through the infield, and the first run of the game scored by Oklahoma State.
Ask and you shall receive. You want variety, Tiffany Green? Here it is. The left side Hobson slapping this ball, perfectly placed, hard hop that allows her time to get to first. No man's land up the middle of the field. And OSU answers the call.
The old adage, hit them where they ain't.
There you go. Hobson did just that, and now Alexander, who is the same type of triple threat at the plate. A lot of speed from Alexander, has 15 stolen bases on the year. You want to put pressure on a defense, this is who you want up to the plate right now for OSU.
The squeeze is on. They're taking off. Hobson, gunned down by Iacopo. And Iacopo so sharp behind the dish.
The transfer from Mary Iacopo is just point blank. Look at the wave.
Uh-oh, she did the bye-bye.
Look at the wave, the bye-bye wave behind home plate. You've seen it from Shea O'Leary, and now you saw it from Mary Iacopo.
You got to play with that kind of swag. You got to play with that type of confidence in these moments, right, Aaron?
Hey,
I guess.
we saw that wave in the Big
Yeah.
12 championship, and you know how that game ended?
Uh-huh. On an Iacopo error, as the runner at first base came all the way around to home base to score the winning run.
And don't get me wrong, I love playing with passion. I was one of those players. I was emotional. I sometimes let the game get the best of me, but in moments like this, the game always knows, right? The softball gods are always having their eyes upon the scene.
Alexander lays it down. Does she make it to first in time? Yes! Another run touches home.
And the short game strikes again. Textbook, perfectly placed down that first base side, requiring O'Leary to hop off the mound to make that play. How about that? Too short game. You want variety?
Well,
Here we go.
we were wondering,
Here we
was it going to
go.
be the long ball or small ball? And right now, we know that Oklahoma State can flex the guns. However, it's small ball that's winning here.
Well, how about this? We've seen the wave from Iacopo. We've seen the wave from Shea O'Leary. How about a little wave back from Chelsea Alexander?
The gamesmanship here. Who wants it more?
Who will have the last wave? Boom. Let's go.
Mic drop. Mic drop, Aaron Miller. Naomi, the little blooper, does it fall? Yes! Lauren Burke couldn't get to it in time. And the delay allows Naomi to go to second base. Well, good effort there by Burke, just couldn't get to it in time.
This one caught the handle of Naomi at the plate, and a late jump from Burke. That's one of the hardest dives to make in the outfield. Having to go right in front of your body, hoping that ball just catches the glove. Last line of defense, having to keep the ball in front of you. Burke does a very, very nice job in left field.
Kitty Gajewski making a change. You think these two squads are fired up right now?
I think so.
My goodness.
I think so. The waves back and forth, the electricity in the air. A really good turnout from Texas fans. You have a sea of orange right now on both sides of this stadium.
Oklahoma State was there in 2019 at Hall of Fame Stadium. That was their first trip in 8 years. They're trying to get back there one more time. 2-0 advantage here in the bottom of the 5th, and we've got a pinch hitter coming to the plate, and that's Jordan Doggett.
Georgia transfer who has been clawing her way into this order.
Again, this inning started with a couple of hit by pitches. First 2 batters aboard. The sacrifice bunt from Reagan Wright. And Avery Hobson producing the first run. Chelsea Alexander able to manufacture another. The lefty Doggett out of the Atlanta area. Didn't go around. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swings through that one. O'Leary caught her off guard.
When O'Leary has been able to spot that off speed, it's been deadly. You saw Febri watch it for a 3rd strike back in the 1st inning.
Janae Jefferson able to get Doggett out at first, but we've seen some waves traded back and forth. Aaron Miller, you asked the question, who get the last wave?
Stay with us. Let's find out together.
At Cowgirls Stadium, Oklahoma State able to put up 2 runs in that last inning. The fans have been absolutely fantastic all weekend long. And guess what? If you think it's going to be great here, just wait till next week when you go to Oklahoma City. Hall of Fame Stadium, Rockin' Field is set. 7 of the 8 teams already punched their ticket. We're waiting for the final team to move on. Will it be Texas or Oklahoma State? Oh yeah. Okay, well that's a horns down. Okay. Yeah.
I like the emotion though. It's good.
Lauren Burke, first pitch swinging here this 6th inning, and over the fence and foul. She'll get another try. Carrie Eberly, who has helped to carry this team all season long. We'll see if Texas can try to figure something out here. Remember, it was the 6th inning yesterday where they were able to put up 3 runs and take the lead, not look back, and push a game 3. Aaron Miller, Tiffany Green here with you. We've seen a fun one so far. Started out as a pitcher's duel. Then we saw some, it's not trash talking, trash waving.
We saw some heated communication, body language going on.
Okay. And warming up just in case, Kelly Maxwell, who started yesterday's game, giving you a different look from Eberly, the sophomore coming from the left side. And the difference in this game is that Oklahoma State able to produce with runners in scoring position. Look, there have not been a lot of chances on either side. That's been the difference in the game. Texas running out of chances, 6 outs to work with. Mike White talked about his team playing like they were happy to play the game, doing it for the passion of the game, the love of the game, and you want to be happy. He said, we weren't happy on day 1. And sharply hit over to first base, and Febri is there, one away. They brought a happiness and also an edge into today's ball game, because when you look over the recent history between these two programs we mentioned, very familiar with one another out of the Big 12, it's been OSU as of late that's controlled the series. They've won 13 out of the last 16 over Texas.
Eberle has had 10 ground ball outs. A good use of that defense. Not a shocker there, a drop ball pitcher that keeps it low in the zone. Has a good chunk of strikeouts, 150 strikeouts coming into this game, but definitely works the ground, inducing ground outs, utilizing her infielders.
Well, we've watched her, even in that shortened season. She induces yet another ground ball, really refined her stuff over the last couple of years.
Make it 12 ground outs. I was close. Counting on my scorecard there.
Hey, double digits.
Double
All right.
digits. Paints the picture. Very efficient low in the zone. And if I am Texas, you know what my adjustment is in the box? Knowing that I'm going to face a drop ball, I'm going to scoot up. I'm going to scoot closer to Eberle, the front of that box, and I'm going to catch it before it breaks. And this was something, Tiffany, that you and I talked about coming into this game, is earlier adjustments from Texas. Don't wait till the end of the game to make some noise. Do it early. If you're seeing ground ball outs, you're seeing that out distribution, how can we make an adjustment? See what's happening in front of you and not make that same mistake twice.
Ellsworth lining it foul. Now, we'll get a chance to see when Taylor Ellsworth approaches the box just where she's sitting. In your opinion, how much more should she inch up, if at all?
Well, I'm definitely going to be setting up predominantly in front of home plate. You can see Ellsworth in the back of the box. Not ideal for a drop ball pitcher. You're going to catch the late tail of that break on her drop ball.
Ellsworth sends that into right. And a 1-2-3 inning for Carrie Eberle. And Oklahoma State, they're inching closer to the Women's College World Series.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Coney Island hot dogs bringing a little northeast flair down to Stillwater, and on the wall, oh, there's a familiar face, the two-time Olympian Michelle Smith, our partner and colleague who's going to be in Oklahoma City, one of the greats to come through this program, and boy, one of the toughest pitchers ever. You talk about Carly Petty and just how tough she is. Michelle Smith, I would not want to face her if I was playing. Febri recording out number 1, and Michelle Smith, number 52, giving her a shout out and love in left field. You see her number on the wall out there, helped take the team to a 1989 Women's College World Series appearance. And Haley Busby, who singled back in the second, grounded out to third her last time up. But it has had a red-hot tournament thus far, hitting 500. Several of these players for Oklahoma State caught fire. Remember, they outscored opponents 29-5 in that regional round. A couple of run rule victories, including their final game. against Mississippi State. And we can't say enough just how great it is to listen and hear the fans and be on site and what it means. And this was something that we all missed last year. It was taken away from us. And so to be back here for these teams to be playing for the postseason as Busby hits a towering fly ball to left for out number 2. It's a treat and it's an honor, especially to sit beside you, partner.
Hey, all love up in here, all fun. You and I have had a blast.
Yeah.
You know, selfishly, I wanted a game 3 so that we could have one more game together on site with the sights and sounds. And we got it.
Yeah.
We're here, bringing it to you live, baby. Here we go. Who's gonna punch the ticket? Who's gonna have the last wave?
Last wave. That is going to be, you know, our lasting memory here in Stillwater.
It is.
Yeah. But that's what you expect, right? And that's what you want to see, that type of gamesmanship, because you know that these players are invested. They care. They want it. They want it bad.
Makes it fun to watch, fun to be a part of. You get to see the emotion, the personality.
This one rocked by Sydney Pennington all the way to the warning track, and Alexander is there. Last chance for the Longhorns. Their season on the line. Can they respond? The NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Who will get the final wave? The attitude, the personality, the gamesmanship between the Longhorns and the Cowgirls. Woo! Drama continuing to unfold from Cowgirls Stadium, and hey girl!
Hey girl!
Okay! See, they missed the wave. We gotta do it again. Hey girl. Okay, we got the wave going on. All right, last chance for Texas. What do they have to do to manufacture some runs?
Comes down to Texas fight. We saw the late in the game fight in game 2 for them to push to game 3. They got 3 outs to work with. This is the moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it comes down to. 3 chances, 3 outs. Can they get it done? Let's see.
Last time Texas made it to the Women's College World Series, 2013. And we let you listen in. Rhodes, Iacopo, Parker set to do a little damage, and Shannon Rhodes, one of the best in NCAA play throughout her career, swings at the first pitch, flies out to center field, 1 away.
Well, I am all for aggressiveness, but in this moment, I'm going to extend my at-bat. I'm going to do whatever I can to put myself in the best odds, and that's seeing pitches. And if I'm Everly, I'm saying thank you. Thank you for taking the first bite.
Here's Mary Iacopo, who started with the waves behind the dish. Let's see if she can wave one out of here. Again, in a game like today where you have to take advantage of your chances, your opportunities, 7 base runners on for the Longhorns. They've left 4 on base. The leadoff batter never got on to help try to spark a rally to get something going, but here with 1 out, Iacopo is doing a good job taking pitches, being patient, just like you said, Aaron.
Extending the at-bat. Not playing into the game plan of Carrie Eberly in the circle. Just slowing down the pace of this game.
Iacopo sharply hit through the hole, gets past a diving Naomi, goes all the way to the wall, and she's standing up at second base. The Texas fans in Stillwater loving it.
All the way out of the box, she knew exactly where she was headed, never put on the brakes. A stand-up double and could not be more timely for Iacopo. Her 6th of the season.
Backing up everything that she was bringing here today. First extra base hit for the Longhorns. Here's Parker from the left side. Single the first time she faced Eberly in the ball game. 14 comeback victories this season for the Texas Longhorns. We saw one of them yesterday. Parker takes strike one. She's been an X factor for this team throughout the season. Sophomore out of Conroy, Texas. Swing and a miss, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Look at the movement. Late life, breaking down and away. So sharp for Eberly.
Parker puts it on the ground, charging in is Naomi. 1 out away from OKC. That ball low, Colleen Sullivan looking for a timely hit, has struggled this postseason. She is the potential tying run. If she can send it out of the park here. 7 home runs on the season. Or at the very least, just try to bring home Iacopo to keep their season alive.
100 pitch coming.
Zipped foul. These are the moments you want as a player. Good pitch from Eberly, called strike 2.
Who gets the last wave? Right here.
Staying alive is Sullivan. There's battles going on both sides as Eberly, who battling back. And with 2 balls, no strike counts. And 1 strike and 1 out away. This one sitting in left field, and put on your dancing shoes, Oklahoma State. You're gonna boot, scoot, and boogie to OKC. Cowgirls back in the Women's College World Series for the 2nd time in the last 3 years, 9th time in program history.
What a hard-fought battle between both of these teams. Their 6th time to face each other. You can feel, Tiffany, just the emotion, the electricity, and the happy, joyous sports fans. Look at the emotion on his face. Guys, it has been a long time since we've been able to meet you in Oklahoma City. And now the scene is set. 8 teams as we shift our sights to the Hall of Fame field.
And the herd on the other side for a Texas program who put it all on the line. There's a look at our Capital One player of the game, Carrie Eberly, pitching a shutout against one of the top offenses in the country. And a chance to go to Oklahoma City. They punched their ticket.
All love in that Cowgirl dugout. Kenny Gajewski, his 6th year here at OSU, and they find their way to Oklahoma City.
They kept the pedal down all season long. Today, the most important game of the year. He said, this is what elite level softball is about. We put ourselves in position and we punched our ticket. Final score, 2-0 for Aaron Miller and our entire ESPN crew. I'm Tiffany Green saying so long from Stillwater. The field is set for Women's College World Series.